Okay, shall we move to the part two? A couple of words about developing your differentiation. So this is exactly how you're going to build your pitch and how you're going to build or your presentation. You got to show how exactly the product that you bring in or the product that you sell out of Canada, how are they different from the competition, and how are they different from any other available option or substitutes. Here's a couple of questions to answer that. That will help you to shape your pitch. Yeah, later on you can review it and probably sit down and answer each of these questions and prepare your pitch later. But this is a very good guidelines and how you actually differentiate. Now, in international trade, it's customary that you represent a brand, whether even if you unless you do it on your own, you've got to represent a certain brand. And the way the like modern practice in international trade is telling is that your brand name somehow had to relate to the products you're dealing with, to your background or your heritage. And it has to have a certain story. The name has to have a certain story, because people don't remember the names; they remember stories. So, in one particular example, one of my clients imported the handcrafts from India to Canada, and he chose the name of the ancient Indian god to name his company. And whenever he provides the presentation, he said, "Okay." I don't remember exactly what's the name, but he said that this is the god that is protecting craftsmen, and this is why I chose this name, because this god helps all these crafters to make a really good handcrafts. And people do remember that. They don't remember the name, but they do remember that, and it rings a bell. It rings a bell in their mind. So if you're gonna ever enter import-export business, try to come up with something like that.
You mean like for yourself, even if you're an agent?
No, if you're an agent, it's not necessary. It's okay to use your name if you're an agent. Yeah, but if your business picks up and because let's say if you go to the trade show and you provide your business cards, you're gonna be more trustworthy representing the company, even though it's going to be just yourself. It doesn't matter. At least if it's a company name, it gives you a bit more credibility. Now, here's how you research the competition. First of all, if you export from Canada, the government of Canada supports you in this process. There's a service, specific services. That is connected to Department of Foreign Affairs that helps you to get this data about export markets and your competition. But you also have to be creative. You can pretend to be a buyer, pretend to be a seller, and this way you can find out how your competition works, what are the prices, what are the solutions. You can also speak to the former clients, visit facilities. So be creative on that, but, because not always the price lists are published. In most of the cases they are not. So you're gonna have to extract this information somehow. Now, if you research your target market, you also will have to know who are the buyers and where and why they buy the products like that. And again, those buyers can be both businesses or consumers. Anyway, there are generic recommendations how you do that, especially if you research consumers. The census data are very helpful. If you research this information from the overseas, usually most of the statistics agencies overseas, they translate the results in English, so you can use those results. If you don't, then you can probably get help of some local person to give you a translation. Industry reports and business directories, they are very helpful if you search and analyze the potential buyers as the businesses. And of course, there are primary data such as company websites, reports, and of course, nothing would replace the visits and personal interaction.